Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the book Out, but before discussing about this book, I want to introduce the writer. Natsuo Kirino was born on October 7th, 1951 in Kanazawa. So actually, happy early birthday to her since it's next week. She's a Japanese novelist and one of the leading figures in the recent boom of female writers in Japanese detective fiction. She is the middle child of three, with two brothers, and originally studied law. Interestingly, she didn't start her writing career until her 30s, and it wasn't until her 40s that she really became popular. Kirino began writing in 1984, starting with romance novels, but they weren't very successful in Japan, and she realized that what really fascinated her were the psychological aspects of crime. So she shifted to writing crime and mystery fiction, which suited her perfectly. Since then, she's published many novels and short stories. 4 of her novels translated into English. One is out. The others are Grotesque, Real World, and The Goddess Chronicle. Her most famous work is Out, which won the Mystery Writers of Japan Award, the country's top mystery prize. Even though her novels became bestsellers in Japan, she also faced criticism. Some people believed women should only write about romance, not crime or mystery. But Kirino proved them wrong and carved out her own path as one of Japan's most important contemporary crime writers. So now let's talk about the book Out. I want to introduce the main characters in the book. This book is a thriller about 4 women who work the night shift in a food factory. These women, their names are Yaoi, Masako, Yushi, and Kuniko. Yaoi is a beautiful young mother with 2 little boys, but she is stuck in a miserable marriage with a cheating, abusive husband. Masako, the quiet leader of the group, is confident and dependable, but she's deeply lonely. Her marriage is cold, and she and her husband live like strangers under the same roof. And her relationship with her son is very complicated. Yushi, the oldest one, carries the heaviest burden. She works nights. She takes care of a sick and cruel mother-in-law during the day and has 2 ungrateful daughters, one who steals from her and disappears, and another one who demands things like any other teenager would without realizing how hard her mother struggles. And Kuniko, the youngest, is insecure and obsessed with appearances. She spends money she doesn't have on clothes and fake brand items, convinced that they'll make her look more acceptable. And she's a little bit overweight, and that makes her more insecure about herself. Each woman is already drowning in her own troubles, and then everything changes when Yaoi kills her husband. Yaoi was the beautiful one. Instead of reporting it, she turns to Masako, in the only one she trusts. Masako helps her dispose of the body, and that single act drags all 4 women into a spiral of danger and destruction. What frustrated me most and what frustrated Masako in the book was Yaoi's attitude afterwards. She started to believe she was innocent, like she had done nothing wrong. She even became angry at Masako for reminding her of the truth, while Masako was the one who had risked everything to help her. I found Yaoi very annoying because she was the one who killed her husband, but because she didn't dispose the body, she thought she is little less bad than the others, or and she was just very happy and bubbly that her husband is not around anymore. And the more she told the others that her husband disappeared, the more she believed that she's innocent and did nothing wrong, and acted like an innocent, grieving widow. Kuniko was another character I disliked. She's so selfish, careless, and constantly digging herself deeper with her obsession with shopping and appearances. She had an unlikable character, very annoying and selfish. The one who truly broke my heart was Yushi. Somehow I understood her. She was stuck with no way out. Unlike the others, who at least had possible escapes, Yushi was trapped between her sick mother-in-law, her selfish children, and the endless greed of night shifts. Even though she lost her husband, no other person in her life cared about her. She was the only one who helped others. She did everything for everyone. Taking care of a mother-in-law who is sick and bad-tempered, and daughters who are ungrateful. Her exhaustion and despair felt so real. When the women decided to get rid of the body, it crossed a line they had never imagined crossing. That scene was one of the most disturbing things I ever read. So vivid and graphic that I actually felt sick. Kirino researched this very carefully, even taking a pathologist course and consulting experts. That's why it feels so real. When I was reading the book, I couldn't put the book aside, but at the same time I was deeply unsettled by how the women reacted, with indifference, even relief, and sometimes blame shifting. In the end, the story closes in a way I never could have predicted. It was dark, sad, and completely original. In my opinion, it ended very well. I didn't expect it, but it was like the whole book. It was very good and very original. So, would I recommend Out? If you like thrillers and don't mind disturbing scenes and unsettling and brutality, yes, of course, you would enjoy this book. It's very, when reading this book, you can't put it down. Even for me, that this book was disturbing. It was beyond my expectations, but I couldn't put it down, and I was curious what is happening next. And the writing is very, very good, even though it's a translation, and I don't know how would the Japanese readers react, and I think it's going to be very more beautiful in Japanese language. Would I reread it? No, I don't think so. It was enough for me to read once, and I don't think I'm going to read it in the future. It was too heavy and too disturbing for me to go through again. But am I satisfied I read it? Definitely. I was so curious to read this book, and I've heard that it is thrillers. I like thriller, and I like Japanese culture, so I was so curious to read this book. And it was my first Japanese novel. And it showed me a side of Japanese society that often gets hidden, the harsh reality of working class women, their struggles, and their loneliness. I really like this book. If I don't think about the disposing body part, it's a book that really make me to think about women, their struggles, and their loneliness, even if in a marriage and a life with kids and husband and work and society, and what society expected them, and how frustrating it becomes for them to balance everything when everyone expects something from you. Personally, I love Japanese culture, but this book shines a light on the parts people don't usually want to talk about, and that's exactly what makes it powerful. So overall, Out was a disturbing but unforgettable read. It shocked me, it made me uncomfortable, but it also made me think about loneliness, about women's lives, and about the choices people make when they feel trapped. It's not a book for everyone, but if you're curious about Japanese thrillers and don't mind dark, unsettling themes, it's definitely worth experiencing at least once. Thank you for watching. If you read Out, or if you read any other Japanese thrillers, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy book discussions like this, don't forget to subscribe so we can keep exploring stories together. See you in the next story.